I stared at the blood pooling on the grimy tile floor, my hand throbbing like a war drum, as the emergency room doctor stitched up the gash from that rusty mop bucket. At 43, scraping by as a janitor after losing everything, I thought this was rock bottom. But what the doctor said next shattered my world, and rebuilt it. Stick around to the end, you won't believe how a simple cut changed my life forever. If this story hits home, smash that like button and subscribe for more real-life turnarounds that prove it's never too late to rise. My name's Alex, and just 2 years ago, I was living the dream, or what I thought was the dream. Corporate ladder climber, pulling in $150,000 a year as a marketing executive in a bustling tech firm in Seattle. Fancy suits, corner office with a view of the Puget Sound, weekends at wine tastings with my girlfriend, Sarah. We were the power couple. Her in finance, me sealing deals that made headlines. But dreams crack under pressure. The company hit a rough patch, layoffs whispered in the hallways like ghosts. I was the golden boy until I wasn't. One Friday afternoon, HR called me in. Budget cuts, they said, handing me a severance package that felt like a slap. Fired. Just like that. No warning, no mercy. I walked out with a box of desk junk, my ego in shreds. Sarah? She didn't stick around for the fallout. We fought that night. Me venting about the injustice, her eyes glazing over with that distant look. You'll bounce back, she said, but her tone screamed doubt. By morning, she was gone, bags packed. A text pinged as I nursed a hangover. Enjoy poverty, Alex. You always were too soft for the real world. It stung worse than any firing. Poverty? Me? I'd grown up in a blue-collar family. Dad a mechanic, mom a teacher, scraping by in a small Midwest town. I'd clawed my way up through scholarships and late nights, vowing never to go back to that struggle. But here I was, 41 and unemployed, resume polished but doors slamming shut. Ageism in tech is real. They want fresh faces, not experienced ones like mine. The bills piled up fast. Rent on the upscale apartment? Eviction notice. Car. Repossessed. I sold what I could, watches, gadgets, even the engagement ring I'd bought for Sarah but never given. Humiliation burned hot. Friends vanished. Invitations dried up. I applied everywhere, marketing gigs, sales, even barista jobs. Nothing. Desperation led me to a janitorial position at a rundown office building downtown. $15 an hour, graveyard shift. Mopping floors, emptying trash, tasks that echoed my dad's warnings. Education's your ticket out, son. At 43, I was back at square one, invisible in a fluorescent-lit world of solitude. Nights blurred into a haze of sore muscles and self-pity. I'd scroll through social media, seeing old colleagues thriving, Sarah's posts with a new guy in exotic locales. Enjoy poverty. Her words looped in my head like a curse. One rainy Tuesday, 2 a.m., I was scrubbing a conference room floor when the mop handle snagged on a loose tile. The bucket tipped, sharp edge slicing my palm deep. Blood everywhere, warm, sticky, mixing with soapy water. I wrapped it in a rag, but the pain shot up my arm like fire. No insurance, I'd let it lapse to save cash. But the bleeding wouldn't stop. I drove to the ER, one-handed, vision blurring from shock. The waiting room was a carnival of misery, coughing kids, groaning elders. Hours ticked by. Finally, a nurse called my name. The doctor, a middle-aged woman with kind eyes and a no-nonsense ponytail, examined the wound. This needs stitches, and you're lucky it missed the tendon. What happened? I mumbled about the janitor job, avoiding her gaze. She prepped the needle, chatting to distract me. Tough break. What did you do before? I spilled it all, the firing, the breakup, the fall. She listened, nodding. Life's full of plot twists, Alex. I see it every shift. People come in broken, leave mended. As she stitched, she shared her story. Dr. Elena Ramirez, once a high-flying surgeon in a private practice, lost it all in a malpractice suit that wasn't her fault. Divorced, bankrupt at 40, she rebuilt in public health. Rock bottom's where foundations are laid, she said. Her words hit like a lifeline. But then came the real bombshell. While checking my vitals, she frowned at the blood work. Alex, your levels are off. Have you been feeling fatigued? Short of breath? Tests revealed anemia, tied to undiagnosed celiac disease, years of stress masking symptoms. It's treatable, she assured. Diet changes, supplements. But ignore it, and it could have worsened. That cut? A wake-up call. In the hospital bed, bandaged and reflective, I realized. My old life was a facade. Chasing money, ignoring health, relationships superficial. Sarah's text. A mirror to my own insecurities. I left the ER with prescriptions and a referral, but more, a spark. Dr. Ramirez connected me to a support group for career changers. There, I met folks like me, downsized dreams, resilient spirits. First challenge, health. I overhauled my diet, gluten-free, veggies over vending machine junk. Energy surged, the fog lifted. Mopping became mindful, a meditation. I started a journal, scribbling ideas from my marketing days. Why not pivot? At the support group, I bonded with Mike, a former engineer turned podcaster. Share your story, he urged. People need hope. I hesitated, vulnerable? But vulnerability breeds connection. I launched a YouTube channel, from 6 figures to scrubbing floors, real talk on rebuilding. First video, raw, phone filmed in my tiny apartment. I recounted the firing, the text, the cut. If you're watching this, hurting, know this, pain's a teacher. Views trickled in, 10, then 100. Comments poured, this is me, thanks for the honesty. Challenges mounted. Early videos bombed, trolls mocked. Loser janitor. Echoes of Sarah. I pushed on, collaborating with group members. We shared tips, resume revamps, side hustles. My channel grew, 1,000 subs, then 10,000. Monetization kicked in, I quit janitorial after 6 months. Key resolution, forgiveness. I messaged Sarah. Not bitter, but grateful. Your words pushed me to prove myself wrong. Wish you well. No reply, but closure freed me. Health stabilized, I ran my first 5K, symbol of strength. Fast forward, today, at 45, my channel's at 500,000 subs. I consult on personal branding, helping others navigate layoffs. Dr. Ramirez guested on an episode, her wisdom went viral. That ER visit? Not an end, but a beginning. Life's not linear, it's a mosaic of breaks and builds. If this story moved you, hit like. It fuels more content. Subscribe for weekly inspirations, turn on notifications so you never miss a turnaround tale. Remember, your lowest point might be the launch pad to your greatest height. What's your story? Comment below. Let's rise together.